are Locked On Lakers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
After a disappointing loss in Minnesota, the Lakers try to get things right in Miami with another disappointing loss. We'll talk more about the Lakers and what they need to fix and talk about LeBron James. Is he back to being the king? All that coming up next. Want to mention the people over at the Gametime app, the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. So many ways to save money on tickets, no matter when you buy. The Gametime app guarantee, don't forget, you'll always get the best price. Los Angeles Lakers, they fall tonight in embarrassing fashion, 134-93 to the Miami Heat. I'm Dave Palais. Thanks for joining me again, talking Laker basketball with you on the Locked On Lakers POSTCAST. Again, Locked On Sports Los Angeles. You can catch this podcast anywhere you get your podcast, you're able to hear it. Also, at the same time, I've been a lifelong Laker fan, credentialed member of the media for 10 years, during the good years, as I always say. I had the Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal years, and at the same time, always loved the Lakers, starting all the way back for me. The very first game I can remember is when Magic Johnson, as a 19-year-old, won MVP, knocking off the 76ers in 1980. Ever since then, I was hooked, and I bleed purple and gold. And at the same time, I want to see the Lakers get one more championship over the Celtics before I pass away. I say it all the time. That's the goal. But tonight, one of those things that show you this Laker team does not look like a championship team. How did the Lakers come out and look so poor against a team like the Miami Heat? A team with the Heat came in with a losing record, 9-10 on the season. 9-10 coming in. Miami Heat, of course, they get up for the Lakers. A lot of teams do. We spoke about that in the last show. But for the Lakers, for their effort tonight, we spoke about the teams in the East, and these trips are pretty tough when you have to sit there and you go city to city and, going from Minnesota to Miami and then, of course, Atlanta on Friday. It becomes exhausting. I got it. But at the same time, you had a day off. At the same time, this is the Miami Heat. This is a team LeBron James used to play for. This is a team you won your last championship against. So for the Lakers, you always have a reason to get up and get ready to go, right? This is a really one of those teams you circle on the schedule, I imagine, if you're a Laker player. So I want to play great Miami. Miami, a lot like Los Angeles, where you have some of the celebrities out there. You have people that only see the Lakers once a year that spend a lot of money on tickets. They want to see, hey, can the Lakers put on a show? People that say, I want to see LeBron James play. I want to see arguably the greatest player of all time play. I want to see Anthony Davis, a future Hall of Famer, play. And for the Lakers, with that performance tonight, just even for yourself after an embarrassing effort against Minnesota to come out and lose by 41, final score 134-93, embarrassing, completely embarrassing. And the sad thing is when you get a loss like this, if you're the Lakers on back-to-back days that are this bad, this is one where you have to question everything. You have to question everything on this roster. What is happening right now with Rob Pelinka? What's going through his mind? What's going through the mind of J.J. Redick? We'll get through all that stuff. Let's start the game off, though, right there at the beginning. Lakers taking on the Heat. And in the first quarter, the Heat outscored the Lakers by a score of 34-26. Right there, you're going, oh, man, we got to play catch-up. We got to go on one of those Laker runs, right? We talk about it all the time. It's easy to do in the NBA. You can make up points in a hurry, but you got to come back and go through one of those runs. Lakers starting lineup tonight, just like it was in Minnesota. Again, I don't hate this starting lineup. I just don't think right now they play well together. I'm not sure if you go back to it if you're J.J. Redick. Starting lineup tonight, Anthony Davis, Rui, LeBron, Dalton, Knecht, D'Angelo Russell. No Austin Reeves again. Reeves hopefully will be back on Friday. But at the same time, just want to see him back because he's a threat, plays hard. Can't say that about all the Lakers tonight. But Anthony Davis, Rui, LeBron, Dalton, Knecht, and D'Angelo Russell, those were your guys. First quarter, Lakers, you know what? It was great to see LeBron James come out and have the first 6 points of the game. He finished the quarter with 10, only one turnover, which is fantastic because the things LeBron James has been accused of recently, is he old? Can he produce? Look, it was back-to-back road games going Utah to Minnesota, and he had a terrible game. LeBron James, we spoke about it the other night about trying to get to the line more. He was aggressive. He was aggressive in the paint. Again, the one turnover is big. Max Christie, he came off the bench, 2 points. And what I liked best about Max Christie's game tonight when he coming off the bench, he was aggressive on the boards. And that's something that, believe it or not, this team needs. It seems like you shouldn't have to say that about pro basketball players, but he was aggressive. Again, 2 points, 3 rebounds coming off the bench. Lakers had 3 turnovers in 3.5 minutes at one point, and Miami went on 11-6 run, and they kind of never looked back. Lakers shot 50% from the field, 33% from behind the arc, and you go, okay, that's not terrible, right? The bad news is the Lakers turned the ball over 4 times total. They allowed 7 made 3-pointers to the Heat. We all know that works out, right? You're changing 2s for 3s. You aren't going to do very well. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, they led the Heat that quarter, 7 points, 5 rebounds apiece. At the half, Lakers, they gave up a season high 69 points in the first half. That's the most all season high. That's disappointing. To go, where's the effort on the defense? As we've spoken about this before, and what JJ Redick has preached as well, defense is nothing but effort. And so for the effort to not be in the right spot, not to rotate, not to sit there and protect the guys that can obviously get open for threes. I mean, it looked like one of those games again, and this is back-to-back games that we've seen this, where it looked like the Miami Heat just were playing 7 against 5. And it just seemed like we're outmatched. It seemed like we're exactly hustling and moving. And that being said, and we'll get into this more during the show, is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, something's not right with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis didn't look like he was hustling, didn't look like he was 100%. Either he didn't feel good or he wasn't ready to play. But this Laker team's supposed to run through Anthony Davis this year. And you could tell early, Anthony Davis wasn't the best AD we've seen. And it just the lack of effort on the defensive end, the running the floor, the mismatches, the transitions were terrible. Defensively, the Lakers should be embarrassed. Bench points for the Lakers, 9 at the half, Heat 13. Turnovers for the Lakers, 7. Heat had 10. So, I mean, the Heat were trying to help you out with 10 turnovers. Didn't work out. Lakers shot 48% from the field. And at the same time, the Heat shot 57%. Lakers 23% from three-point range. The Heat 46%. This is all at the half. So you're wondering, what are the Lakers saying at the half to fix things, right? This is where you make adjustments. Good teams make adjustments. Good coaches make adjustments. And for the Lakers, it was embarrassing. LeBron James led all scores with 18 points in the first half. Fantastic. Miami had 4 guys in double digits. Lakers only had 2. D'Angelo Russell had 10. LeBron had 18. And you're sitting there going, what is the deal? Is LeBron the only one that has something to prove in Miami? You guys were just embarrassed in Minnesota 2 nights ago. You would expect a better effort from this team. Be ready to play. 2 3 quarters, Lakers gave up 20 points on turnovers. Again, sloppy with the ball. I mean, if you aren't going to do anything right, I guess you just aren't going to do anything right. Offensively, defensively, guys in the wrong spot. Too much standing around. If you're watching Lakers offense and you're saying, man, these guys get the ball and they're moving quick in transition. Guess what? Every team in the NBA moves extremely fast. Nobody walks the ball up the floor. Everybody's moving extremely fast. It's an extremely physical game. Call me crazy, but I think honestly that the NBA refs are letting these guys play more physically than I've seen in years. There's a lot of contact and there aren't whistles, but the transition is fast. It's a fast game up and down the floor. The fans love it. I love it too when it looks good. I loved it when Magic Johnson ran the break. But then you'd see other teams that would walk the ball up the court. Well, I think the book on the Lakers is these guys are vets, older guys. They're 2 best players, over 30 years old. LeBron's going to be 40 at the end of this month. Can we outrun and tire the Lakers out to a point where they make mistakes? I don't know if that's the book on the Lakers, but boy, it seems like teams are trying to run us right out of the building every single night. The big story of the evening is Tyler Herro. Caught fire, 21 points on 7 3-pointers. Herro didn't even play like in the fourth quarter. He ended up with 31 points through 3. And again, 27 of those on 3-pointers. Tyler Herro is one of those guys, and we've all watched him for a long time. We've looked at Tyler Herro, and we think to ourselves, man, he's the kind of guy that would be a perfect Laker. A guy that, you wish was on the Lakers, and at the same time, a guy that the Lakers would need. We need that consistent 3-point shooter, and we just don't have that consistent 3-point shooter. So it becomes extremely frustrating. We'll talk more Laker basketball, what they need to fix it, and also JJ Redick's comments after the game as well. So a ton of Laker basketball, a lot of questions. Want to hear your comments as well. Want to mention the people over at Gametime, the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. Again, you can filter through and find the perfect game for you, the game that you thought you couldn't get into. It's because of Gametime they make it possible. So many ways to save money on tickets, no matter when you buy. The Gametime guarantee, you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Gametime will credit you 110% the difference. That's insurance right there. Game time ticket coverage. Don't forget, they love their fans and they take care of their fans. Lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, 24-hour return guarantee, and again, job loss insurance, on-time ticket delivery. What else could you ask for? Don't forget about the people over at Gametime, the Gametime guarantee. Make sure you go through Gametime when you're looking for your tickets to see your special event, your favorite players. All right, so when you look at what's going on with JJ Redick and you look at this Laker team, are you happy with what you see? Are you happy with what you see right now? JJ Redick isn't happy. You know, during the press conference, JJ Redick, I literally have the TV right in front of me, I have the volume off, and I'm watching a lot of hands to the forehead and just shaking his head and basically looks like, I don't know what to do. That's not a good sign. It's December 4th. And that's not a good sign when your new coach is basically in despair of, I don't know what to do. Your job's to fix it. Your job's to basically make sure these guys are in the right direction of getting better every single game, getting better every single month, getting better towards the playoffs. Right now, this doesn't look like a playoff team. The last couple days, they haven't looked good at all. The last 10 games, they've struggled. They haven't looked like they should look. And so what is the issue? Is it one of those deals where if you're the GM, if you're Rob Pelinka, are you making that phone call to JJ Redick if you aren't on the trip? Are you saying we have to talk? Not talk like job loss position, but we need to talk about what's going on because this isn't Laker basketball. This is unacceptable basketball from the premier organization in the NBA. It's a terrible loss. Absolutely. Craig right here in the chat says 88 points. That's a season low. It was disappointing earlier in the week when AD only had 9 shots. He had 15 points, but 8 points. You tell me, but when I'm watching, I'm looking at 2 guys at first. I'm looking at LeBron and I'm looking at AD because LeBron had something to prove tonight. After what happened in Minnesota, LeBron had something to prove. He was ripped all over the place. Nationally, locally, LeBron was ripped, saying this guy can't shoot. It was nice to see him make a 3-pointer, but LeBron came out tonight with 29 points, 12 of 18. He made 5 rebounds, 8 assists. You can't ask any more from LeBron, from any player. I don't care if LeBron was 23. That's a great game. He's about the only one that you can sit there and say did his job. Reading the comments of Greg again, trade AD. I'm not saying you trade AD. And also, I don't know how many teams actually would take AD in a trade with the amount of money he makes and his age. The Lakers aren't better if you trade AD, but you need AD's best effort every single night. You know, I never want to get into money that guys make. I mean, what NBA players make is crazy. But if you break it down per game, it's really crazy. And to say you can't give 100%. I don't care where you work. If you play for the Lakers or you're working down the street at a fast food place, when you sit there and say, I will do the job, you're expected to do the job at your best of your abilities. And unless AD is hurt and played through an injury, which I don't believe so, there was no excuse for the effort that we saw from Anthony Davis tonight. Defensively, offensively, just the effort going up and down the floor, very disappointing. It reminded me of that line from the movie Airplane where the kid calls out Kareem. We need to expect you to get up and down the floor the entire time you're in the game. There's just no excuse for it. Embarrassing for the Lakers. So looking at the Lakers box score to give an idea of what we did, not going to talk about Miami at this point. LeBron held his own, 29 points in 29 minutes, 12 of 18 shooting. Of course, he was 1 of 4 from 3-point. I think we're all at the point with LeBron. We're just happy one went in. The Lakers 3 points for the night, 3-point shooting for the night, shot 22.7%. It's pitiful, but it's been pitiful the entire year for the Lakers. One of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. That's why when JJ Redick made that comment at the beginning of the year, I want our guys to attempt 53-point shots. That's ridiculous. We don't have that team. We don't have those guys that are consistently make those shots. Seems like Miami had about 6 of them, but we don't have those guys. We've always looked for shooters. Dalton Knecht, I mean, we got to call out the rookie, right? This is 3 games in a row now where he disappeared. Dalton Knecht, 23 minutes, made 1 of 4 shots, missed 2 3-pointers, finishes the game with 2 points. He's supposed to be your 3-point threat to basically make everything okay, to basically clear up the inside. Our offense doesn't move. Don't understand it. It's not like the Boston Celtics. If you watch them in the NBA Finals last year, the Boston Celtics ran an offense where basically all 5 guys were on the outside of the arc, and it worked. But the Lakers aren't that team. The Lakers can't shoot. The Lakers can't hit those wide open shots. The Lakers field goal percentage tonight was 42.5%. You got to be closer to 50. 3-point shooting has to be at least in the high 30s. To be 22.7 and keep rifling them up is ridiculous. Free throw shooting, 74% tonight. But overall, Anthony Davis, let's look at his numbers. He played 31 minutes, 8 points. 31 minutes, 8 points. That's one made field goal per quarter. Insane. All right. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers. So at least he had that going for him. Rui, who basically plays a typical Rui game, one of the guys that's one of the better, I think, team players in this league. Like Rui's not that guy saying I need more airtime. How come people aren't looking at me? It's never the I guy kind of basketball with Rui. It's always team basketball, and you have to appreciate that. But you need your superstars to play their game for Rui to basically be appreciated more. Rui in 26 minutes made 6 of 7 shots, made 1 3-pointer, 1 for 1 on his free throws, which is great. Finished with 14 points and only 3 rebounds. Maybe a little bit higher in the rebounds would have been nice. There's one that was strange to me was D'Angelo Russell, because D'Angelo Russell, it almost seemed like he fell into the doghouse. Like one of those where whatever JJ Redick is looking for, all of a sudden he penalized D'Angelo Russell. It was like he was missing time. And then when it came time for garbage time, D'Angelo Russell was on the court, like almost like a punishment. So I'm kind of curious to know what is going on with D'Angelo Russell and JJ Redick. So when JJ Redick is frustrated with his team and there's certain guys out there who look like they don't want to be on the court, is it a situation where JJ Redick goes, you know what, figure it out or I'm going to punish you, or figure it out or you're going to sit on the bench? There's JJ Redick has mentioned this many times, and I understand from a new coach, you're missing practice time. There aren't a lot of practices during an NBA season. JJ Redick seems like a guy that I wish I had more practice time. And if you look at, obviously had a long NBA career, but Coach K was a teacher. I think JJ Redick probably wants to be a teacher too on how he wants things done. He knows good basketball, bad basketball. He knows right now the Lakers are playing terrible basketball. So right now your starting 5, out of the starting 5, 3 guys gave you double digits, and that's it. That was it. Max Christie gave you double digits off the bench in 26 minutes. Max Christie, 11 points, 4 of 8 shooting. Again, his effort was decent, 7 rebounds. I'll take that from Max Christie. You give me 26 points from Max Christie, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. That's great off the bench. You combine that with whoever it is, whether it's Austin Reeves or D'Angelo Russell that'll be coming off the bench in the future, I will take those numbers right there. I'm 100% fine with it. But overall, very, very frustrating to see what the Lakers did offensively, and so you go through turnovers, 13 turnovers, not a ton. I mean, we've seen worse, believe it or not, we've seen worse, but when you aren't making your shots, everything is amplified and everything seems so much worse than what it is. When you look at the Miami Heat and you talk about guys in double digits, everyone in their starting 5 outside Duncan Robinson, they were in double digits. Highsmith had 14, Butler had 17, Bayou had 14, and Tyler Herro was the star of the game, 31 points, had a plus 30 on his plus minus tonight. Pretty amazing. Highsmith, by the way, a plus 31, which was absolutely incredible. But when you look at the box score and you say, man, there are a lot of pluses next to the Miami Heat players, and you look at the Lakers and there are minuses all the way down. Again, we've seen this over and over again. It's disappointing. How about Kevin Love stepping in tonight off the bench for the Heat with 10 points, making 2 of 5 3-pointers? I mean, Kevin Love is one of those guys that I think a lot of people, when you see him on the Heat and he comes off the bench, like, oh my God, Kevin Love's still in the league. Yep, Kevin Love's still in the league doing his thing. So Kevin Love, again, former teammate of LeBron James. I'm sure there's something there where he said he wanted to play. And the one that's interesting to me coming off the bench for the Heat was Terry Rozier. That Terry Rozier is a bench player in this league. And Terry Rozier is a guy that I'm sure could help a lot of teams and get more minutes than the 25 he's getting for the Heat. But if you watch the Miami Heat today, you'd say that is one of the better teams in the league. Well, guess what? With the win tonight, the Miami Heat, they basically improved to a 500 team, 10-10. That's it. The Miami Heat 10-10 on the season. So overall, a little bit disappointing for the Lakers moving forward. What do they need to do to fix things? We'll talk about all that in a second as well. So big news for the Lakers as they have to figure out what can they do to basically fix things and to get things going in the right direction. Want to mention the people over at PrizePicks. Don't forget the people over at PrizePicks. PrizePicks are the people that, look, all your friends right now, if you're in Southern California, you're probably part of one of those apps like me that you have friends that are doing PrizePicks. And PrizePicks does a great job. Right now, you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. Again, PrizePicks is the best way to get into the action on sports in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win because a $50 bonus, it's guaranteed. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday each Tuesday. PrizePicks discount select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value to your lineups. PrizePicks, it's a blast. If you have not done PrizePicks, I suggest it. It's one of those things that if you're an NBA fan, if you're a Major League Baseball fan, if you're an NFL fan, there's nothing like playing PrizePicks as the game is going on. Don't forget, PrizePicks is a great option for you if you want to get in the game. Don't forget, PrizePicks is something that all your friends are doing. If not, once you start it, you're going to say, I should have done this a long time ago. Make sure you give PrizePicks a try. So looking at the Lakers right now, again, you say, what can they do to moving forward? As I see some of you people in the chat have said, hey, trade AD. Which players would you trade? Would you trade players? Would you trade draft picks? Who do you want to see gone? Who has basically disappointed you with what they're doing? Who's not playing up to their capabilities? Like who is the guy? So curious to know, that situation right there. Who is your guy? Do you have a person in your mind that's not playing up to their capabilities? So it's one of those that's extremely, extremely frustrating. Hey, I want to mention the people over at Chime as well. Don't forget, Chime helps you with fee-free overdraft up to $200. Your Knicks deposit is applied to your balance. Get spotted on debit cards and also cash withdrawals, no monthly fees or maintenance fees, over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. Chime is great for so many people that need to possibly get a little bit of help before basically their check is due. So if you set up direct deposit with your Chime account after qualifying direct deposit of 200 plus, Chime will notify you of Enroll Me on Spot Me. With activated debit card, Chime will spot you $200 on debit card purchases with cash withdrawals. Your next direct deposit is applied to your negative balance. Don't forget, Chime never charges overdraft fees using the Spot Me app. Also, here's the deal. If you want to get involved in Chime, I recommend it. There's a way for you to do it. All you have to do is go to chime.com/NBA. That's chime.com/NBA. Enjoy the holidays while keeping your financial goals on track with Chime. Again, chime.com/NBA. That's chime.com/NBA. So if you look at this Laker team and you say, which guys on this Laker team don't seem to be happy being a Laker? Is there one of those? Is there a reason why guys aren't able to follow what JJ Redick wants them to do? Are they yelling out when guys are basically setting screens? Are they yelling out when guys are moving on the court? Are they picking up each other's man? There are a lot of wide open layups and a lot of wide open threes tonight for the Miami Heat. Defensively, it looked like this team had never played together. I mean, there was zero verbal communication with what the Lakers are doing against the Heat and what they're doing against the Minnesota Timberwolves and what's going to happen in Atlanta. Can they fix this in 2 days? Can they get on a plane and fix this before a game? Because tonight, if you didn't know it, you would have thought Anthony Davis is a miserable Laker. You would have thought D'Angelo Russell was a miserable Laker. You would think through at the same time Gabe Vincent, who I'm not so sure that he's not miserable. Gabe Vincent's a guy that probably thinks I should be starting. Gabe Vincent had some great years when he was with the Heat. Well, Gabe Vincent tonight, 3 of 11 in 24 minutes, 9 points. But Gabe Vincent doesn't look like the happiest Laker either. Cam Reddish, is he a happy Laker? Is there any market for the guys I just said? Cam Reddish tonight, by the way, 13 minutes, 0 of 3 from outside. Didn't make a three-point shot, missed 2 of those. Had 2 assists, which was nice. He had a block, also had a turnover, but 0 points. Cam Reddish, one of the most bizarre things to me is if you watch Cam Reddish in college, you're going, this guy can play offense. Cam Reddish is a terrible offensive player all of a sudden with the Lakers. All of a sudden, Cam Reddish is supposed to be a defensive stopper. He's not. I mean, it's not equaling out. He's not like a Dennis Rodman type guy. He's not a shutdown defensive guy. Yeah, he's one of the better defensive players on your team, but what would he be on other teams? Is Cam Reddish in the wrong spot? Is Gabe Vincent in the wrong spot? Overall, what can you do? So as much as I want to say, hey, JJ Redick, you got a lot of work to do, and he does. Rob Pelinka, you got a lot of work to do, and you've said it to yourself. You've said it to all of us that I'm looking to make trades early. I'm not going to wait till February to make trades. If I need to make a trade, I'm going to make a trade in December. I think now's about the time to start getting serious about what you said, because Laker fans are going to hold you accountable. And so, again, as Craig, nice enough to chip in, this isn't that talented of a team, I think, is what he just said. And that's kind of how I feel as well. You hate to say it. You like to think, man, there's so much talent on this team. How are you going to keep everybody happy? It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like this is a very talented team. Overall, you have two guys that are future Hall of Famers that you want to go see play and you want to see them do well. But one of those Hall of Famers, Anthony Davis, has completely bombed this week. There's not a lot to say. Again, 8 points for Anthony Davis, 3 of 14 shooting, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. That's not Anthony Davis basketball. That's not Hall of Fame basketball. And that's not when you talk about the greats of the greats. I go back to, I was at the very first game of the year this year at Crypto when the Lakers took on Minnesota, and the chance of MVP, there are no chance with that. With that kind of game, there's no chance there. You can't just point the finger just at Anthony Davis, but there's no help. I mean, right now, if the Lakers come back and Austin Reeves is healthy and we see him back, on the floor, and hopefully he's back on Friday, and the Lakers win, all of a sudden, hey, there's MVP chance. You basically trade him in for Austin Reeves. But we know Austin Reeves is, he's a great option, but he's not an all-star. Is that what it takes? We need more players on this team that can contribute in the way that JJ Redick wants. And JJ Redick has made it clear he likes the guys that shoot the threes. And right now, we don't have guys that consistently hit threes. And we haven't had a guy that consistently hit threes in years. Dalton Knecht going cold this week has really hurt this team. And so, where are the threats? D'Angelo Russell had a great game against Minnesota, but we didn't see the back-to-back. What we need is consistency from D'Angelo Russell. Overall, your two best three-point shooters should be Knecht and should be Russell, but you aren't getting that. And for LeBron James, he did his job. If I'm LeBron, and I've never seen LeBron basically go and tear up a locker room type of a deal, but you got to be frustrating. I came back to Miami when I won 2 championships here, and people buy tickets basically to see me. First time back in Miami, he scored 51 points, and he goes, "You guys embarrassed me. You guys embarrassed me. I know I embarrassed you in Minnesota a couple nights ago, but you guys know this is like one of those homecoming stops. I have a few of them. I have Cleveland and I have Miami. I like to play my best basketball and leave there with a victory to let everybody know what they're missing." There's no one in Miami that missed that game tonight. There's no one that sat there and said, man, LeBron would help us win at this point, because he couldn't get the guys around him to play hard. That being said, would this be acceptable by other superstars that the Lakers have had in the past? Would this be acceptable on a Magic Johnson team? No way. Would this be acceptable on a Kobe Bryant team? That I'm not so sure, because Kobe Bryant, we know, kept to himself, right? Kobe Bryant put a lot of leverage on his own game, but when it came to his teammates not being able to pull their weight, when things weren't going good for the Lakers in those Kobe Bryant years, Kobe Bryant would go with the attitude of, I'm not passing you the ball because you don't work as hard as I do. But at the same time, it didn't equal wins. Kobe couldn't take everybody to the championship. He just needed a few guys to buy in. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they need guys to buy in, to play up to their capabilities. And right now, this team doesn't have a lot to show for it. Rob Pelinka has a lot of work to do. I've never seen a roster change of 6 guys, let's say, in the middle of one season. But, man, if the Lakers are ever going to do it, this is the time, because you have about 6 guys that are worthless to what JJ Redick wants to do, to what this team needs to do to try and win a championship. Right now, as we finish the show out and we look at where the Lakers stand, again, the next game up is going to be against Atlanta Hawks. That's going to be a 4:30 tip-off on Friday. Where do the Lakers stand? Looking at the standings right now, they're 12-10. They would be the 9th seed in the West. 9th. Teams in front of them, and I know it's early, so it changes rapidly. Oklahoma City's still 1. Houston Rockets are 2. Houston Rockets lost their last game, which, again, I'm waiting for the Rockets to fall. Mavericks are 3. Memphis Grizzlies are 4. Unfortunately, the Clippers are 5. Clippers are at home against Minnesota tonight. Suns 6. Golden State Warriors 7. Denver Nuggets, which are always tough for the Lakers, are 8. Lakers are 9. And Spurs, they round things out with the 10th spot. Believe it or not, Minnesota is still not in there. Still not one of the playoff teams. So for the Lakers, they have their work cut out in front of them, and it starts by finishing this road trip really on a better note. They got to take care of the Atlanta Hawks. It'd be nice to see the Lakers take care of the Hawks on the road. It would be nice to see the Lakers leave Atlanta with Trae Young on their rosters. Would be really nice. That would be something I think we would all root for and enjoy. By the way, Atlanta Hawks right now 11-11 but they've won 4 straight games. So looking forward to the Lakers playing better than they did than they did the last 2 nights, I should say. They got to play better than this. You can't lose by 41. You can't lose by 29. And then back-to-back games like that. If I'm Rob Pelinka, I think I'm walking around the facility with my head down. I don't even know you make contact with Jeannie Buss. And at the same time, if I'm JJ Redick, I'm on the phone with Rob Pelinka saying, we don't have the right mix. We got to fix things a little bit. So we'll talk more Laker basketball with you. Again, invite you to pay attention to what's going on with Brian and Andy. They do a great job with Locked On Lakers. They do a daily podcast every single day. Again, this is the Locked On Lakers postcast. So you can catch that. You can listen to it anywhere podcasts are heard. Don't forget Locked On Sports Los Angeles, Locked On Lakers postcast. Again, heard anywhere you get your podcasts. I want to thank everyone again for joining me after these games. These losses are tough. It's a lot more fun to talk about this team when they win. But unfortunately tonight, Lakers lose 134-93 to the Miami Heat. We'll see you in 2 days.